When the world's richest man spoke down to him, Ibrahim Traoré's calm shattered like glass. But what happened next left everyone breathless. Introduction and setup. The sun scorched the dusty streets of Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso's capital, as the afternoon stretched lazily over cracked pavements and buzzing market stalls. The scent of roasted maize mixed with the dry earth. Children's laughter echoed faintly from a distant schoolyard, where their shoes kicked up clouds of ochre dust. Ibrahim Traoré sat in his modest office, the sunlight filtering through the slatted blinds casting thin golden stripes across his weathered face. He was young, only in his late 30s, but his eyes carried the weight of decades. Those eyes had seen too much, the bloodshed of coups, the fragile hopes of a nation yearning for dignity, and the silent prayers of mothers who lost sons to violence. Before him rested a chipped wooden table, cluttered with worn papers and a half-drunk cup of bitter coffee. His hands, calloused and steady, clenched a faded photograph of his late mentor, a man who taught him that true leadership wasn't born in palaces, but in the hearts of the people. The room smelled faintly of jasmine from the single flower vase, the petals wilting much like the fragile peace in his country. Yet in Ibrahim's chest burned a stubborn flame, a vision of hope forged from hardship. Across the continent, thousands of miles away in the gleaming towers of Silicon Valley, Elon Musk prepared for a virtual meeting that promised to reshape international aid and influence. But behind the polished veneer of ambition and technology lay a man whose attitude towards Africa was a complex mix of skepticism, impatience, and condescension. Conflict or challenge. Introduced, the video conference began with flickering screens and awkward greetings. Ibrahim, with his steady voice and calm demeanor, laid out Burkina Faso's dire need for sustainable infrastructure and technology investment to combat insurgency and poverty. Elon Musk, reclined in a futuristic chair, his background a sleek room lit by LED panels, listened with a detached expression. When it was his turn, his words sliced through the air with cold precision. Frankly, the continent needs to stop relying on handouts and start innovating faster. We can't keep throwing money at problems that stem from a lack of leadership and modern mindset. Ibrahim's fingers tightened on the chair's armrest. His jaw clenched. The words felt like a slap, not just to him, but to the millions he represented. Was this the attitude of a man who claimed to want to help? The conversation escalated, veering into tense territory as Musk's impatience clashed with Traoré's quiet dignity. Yet Ibrahim did not break. Instead, he spoke softly but firmly. True leadership is not in speaking down to those who struggle, but in walking with them through the storm. Midpoint revelation, or twist days later, Ibrahim received an unexpected message, an invitation from Elon Musk to visit his SpaceX headquarters. The message was curt but clear. Let's meet. Maybe we both have something to learn. Reluctantly, Ibrahim accepted. The journey was long, the flight across continents a symbol of the widening gap between two worlds. At the sleek campus, Elon awaited, not in his usual cocky demeanor, but with an uncharacteristic humility. He led Ibrahim through glass corridors where rockets gleamed under bright lights, a tangible reminder of humanity's reach for the stars. In a quiet moment, Musk confided, "I know I sounded harsh, but I've seen so many failed projects and wasted resources. Sometimes it's hard to keep hope alive." Ibrahim nodded, understanding the weariness behind the words, a weariness born of struggle, even if from a different battlefield. In that moment, the walls between pride and misunderstanding began to crumble. Climax, emotional breakthrough. On a rooftop overlooking the sprawling campus, with the sun setting behind the distant hills, Ibrahim and Elon talked late into the evening. Ibrahim spoke of Burkina Faso's resilience, how despite terrorism and poverty, communities banded together, planting trees, educating children, dreaming of peace. Elon shared his vision of technology as a tool to uplift humanity, but admitted he'd underestimated the depth of leadership needed to wield it wisely in different contexts. Tears welled in Ibrahim's eyes as he said softly, "You see, Elon, Africa's strength is not in the absence of struggle, but in the courage to rise each day despite it. Leadership is love, patience, and the willingness to listen. Elon's usual guarded expression softened. You're not broken, Ibrahim. You're becoming, and maybe together we can build bridges where before there were walls. Resolution and quiet closure back in Ouagadougou. Ibrahim returned with renewed hope. A new partnership was forged, one based on respect, humility, and mutual learning. A project was launched to bring solar energy and internet access to remote villages, driven not by charity, but by collaboration. In the quiet moments, Ibrahim visited the market, the scent of roasted maize now sweeter, mingling with the laughter of children who dreamed not just of survival, but of stars. A wilted flower on his desk had been replaced by a fresh bloom, a symbol of transformation, healing, and the quiet power of connection. Closing call to action. If this story touched your heart, consider subscribing for more inspiring tales of hope, healing, and unexpected kindness. Hit the like button and share this with someone who needs it today.